Hi there, and welcome into this video where I will be looking at the astrology for January of 2023, as well as the energies, to give you this overall view of what this moment is asking of us, how you can move with these energies, work with them, instead of getting really tossed around on the waves. And we're really going to be looking at this coming super new moon on January 21st, which is going to be in Aquarius. So there's a lot of big stuff that's happening in the astrology and the energy, and I want to share with you what you might expect. My name is Chrissy Whistler. I am an intuitive, an astrologer. I'm also a healer. Now, if you are interested in knowing how these energies, these planets, their movements are affecting you personally, I do offer Chart Your Stars, where we do this evolutionary astrology look at the time of your birth. What are these energies asking of you? How you can best move through them. So I offer that and more. You can go to my website, chrissywhistler.com, or send me a message, and I'll be happy to get you started on your astrology journey. And please, please, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. I know it's a really silly thing to say, but it truly helps me to break out of this YouTube algorithm to connect with more like-minded people like you who want to understand what's happening in this moment, who want to change, and astrology is a wonderful tool to support you on that journey, which we will be getting into. So thank you all so much, and I truly appreciate you being here and saying yes to your part, your energies, and what you are creating at this time. And with that, okay, let's get into what you can expect. Now, this overall energy of 2023, okay, this really is a time of rebirth, regeneration. Those are some of the big themes that we will be seeing and feeling and moving through this entire year. We're really being lined up for this new change that is coming in, and yet at the same time, we're not quite there yet, okay? This is this death rebirth process. We might be seeing a lot of crumbling, a lot of collapsing at the 3D level, okay, our physical lives. This crumbling, that's being broken open, okay, that is this death process. In order to get to the rebirth, to get to these changes like the phoenix rising from the ashes, you know, this is, we have Pluto beginning his dance to go into Aquarius starting this year. Pluto won't be fully into Aquarius and staying there until 2024. So again, this is a longer process that we're moving into, okay? A collective push, okay, of humanity to oof us into this like next evolutionary stage, okay? And that's Pluto, and I will be definitely weaving in his energy because he's very highlighted for this whole year, as well as this new moon in Aquarius that we have coming up. Okay, so this is a time about really finding entirely new ways of doing relationships, exchange, energy, love. We're having a complete transformation in those areas. Now, we saw this actually highlighted back at the Scorpio solar eclipse in October of 2022, okay? And then at the very start of this year, 2023, where we had Venus conjunct Pluto. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, and Venus is the ruler of Taurus and Libra as well. But Taurus is what's going to be really highlighted because that's where the North Node is still in and will be there until July. So we're working with big energies, longer running themes. So just keep that in mind as I go in and explain a little bit more of these. And just to back up a moment and to say, this video, I'm giving you kind of more the adult version of the astrology. And I don't mean that like in a rated, you know, like movie kind of way, but like the focus here is helping you as an adult individual meet these energies. I do a separate video where I look at this from a more parenting lens, how this can be affecting you as a parent or your children. And that's in a separate video, and I will link that to I will link that below for you. But just know, like, this is the focus of this video, is how to help you as individuals, and then I do another one with that focus as well. So, okay, back into this video. So, this Venus-Pluto, okay, we have a new cycle that is beginning, but we're not there yet, okay? We're not yet where we're going. And in fact, that's just this really in general theme of January. Can you feel that energy of this being in between? This liminal space between this old way of doing things, the old guard, old traditions, expectations, and we can feel the energy building, okay? We can feel the new coming in, but it's like that new way hasn't opened up yet. Or maybe you are this innovator, this entrepreneur, and you're like, yes, I want to trailblaze in this new direction, because that is also this energy of this time, especially going into the Aquarian age. And yet it's like this experience of stop start, or you can feel the energy is moving, it's moving, it's moving, and yet you're not actually moving. Or there are life circumstances that are really kind of coming in and knocking you down, and you can't move forward yet. So let me know in the comments below if you've been feeling that kind of energy, ready to move forward, and then you can't. And what your experiences have been like. So I can definitely say that that's the energy that I've been picking up, and it's being really highlighted in the astrology. Not just in evolutionary astrology, which is what I mainly use to share these updates and videos with you, but it's coming in from other systems as well. Vedic, traditional, and the Galactic Mayan, which my mentor did a beautiful presentation on that. It's not available live, but when it is, I will share that with you, because they really do link up and weave together in a beautiful way. So yeah, just know if you're feeling really frustrated about that, that is the moment we are in, and it is shifting, okay? It's slowly starting to shift, even as we're not quite there yet. You might be getting glimpses of that future. You might be getting some clear downloads, okay? Of what, like this new project, this new creation, maybe the new direction that you even want to move towards, okay? You're getting some insight, you're getting some clarity, but it still might not be time for that rubber to really hit the road and surge forward. Now, I'm filming this on January 15th, okay? So mid-January, we are starting to feel that shift, okay? That's mostly because Mars is finally going direct. Mars is in Gemini and has been retrograde since October. So very long time for Mars to be in one sign. Okay, so Mars moving us forward, and then on the 18th of January, Mercury is moving direct. And then finally on the 22nd, Uranus, okay? So we're gonna have a springboard of energy. We're gonna feel it, especially going into this Aquarius New Moon, which I'll get to in a minute. But again, just know that there is this building up of momentum, okay? Even if you're still stopping and starting, okay? It will be shifting. And I also wanna just take a moment to highlight, I did not do a update for the Cancer full moon on January 6th because I was actually taking time to rest and restore my energy myself, especially after the very busy holiday season. Even though I didn't do necessarily a lot, yet what I used to do easily was actually very exhausting. So that exhaustion is definitely linked into this Mars retrograde, right? But also highlighted at that Cancer full moon is this need to care for ourselves, our emotional needs, our own energy, our safe space, okay? Compared to the going, doing that is expected from us by our culture, by society, even by family. Just think of the holiday season, how much of that going expectation was put on you by your family, even if it didn't necessarily line up with your actual needs, all right? So we are, as a collective, okay, we are learning to balance this, okay? We're moving away from that really distorted productivity, getting your checklist, being super organized, always getting things done, okay? That's this Capricorn distortion energy. We're moving into Cancer. We're moving into how can we provide safe space for each other, for ourselves even, meeting our emotional needs. And then when we do that, okay, then we're better able to meet others where they're at because we've taken care of ourselves first. So that was a lot of the theme with the Cancer full moon. And, okay, the south nodes of Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter, they're all in Capricorn, which means their north node is urging and pushing and inviting us to move into Cancer. So what was your holiday season like? Did you feel like that you were ready for this new year, 2023? You had a lot of energy and drive and momentum? Or did you find that you actually needed to really sit down and just rest? Like catch up for a moment. Catch your breath. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. What was that like for you? How did you move through your holiday season? For me, I actually did a lot of traveling just to our nature places. And we went to Death Valley, me and the kids, for 6 days. And that was exactly what I needed. Now, it was still lots of work. Camping, solo parenting, camping is always work, even when you've streamlined it like me. And yet at the same time, it was like I needed to just be in my own energy, in my own head. Like it took 3 days to even reset my thoughts where I could hear myself think again. I could hear my own voice because December was so filled with this mental juggling and I was exhausted from that. So I got that reset by just going and literally being present in my body and nature. So yeah, and then on top of that, okay, around that exact same time, the 6th, we had our sun doing some crazy, crazy flares, crazy sparking of energy. And that like forced me to rest. So instead of coming home from a trip and just like hitting the ground running with everything I needed to do, it was like, nope, you need to sit down. Just for an example of what I mean, we have a lot of solar flares, okay, and they have ranges. X class is the highest, and then they go up in numbers. Now, there's M class and then X class, for example. X class flares, we usually get 10 of those in 1 year. We had 3 in a 7-day period, with a whole lot of M flares going on as well. So if you found that you were really exhausted and you felt that energy, know that that could be why, and following the sun and what he's doing might actually really help you with your sensitivity. So just know that that was happening as well. All right, so balance is going to be required with this new year between the doing and the caring for ourselves. We really saw that highlighted at the solstice, the Capricorn solstice, and then as well at the full moon on the 6th. So that's setting us up for this year 2023 ahead is very important. This truly is a very important time to really hold our energy. All right, clearing that energy that we do not need. Hold our energy. Hold our intention on what it is that we value, okay? This is like deep value, to the core of your being kind of value. What is that for you? Not what was taught to you or conditioned by your parents, religion, schools, society, okay? You. What is it that you deeply value? This is some of those really deep questions that are being asked of us with Venus in there, with Pluto, okay? And then we have the north node of the moon is in Taurus. This is our collective future destiny, pushing us into Taurus, into what we actually truly value. And how can we return to that? To what we love, what we enjoy. And so there's this real crumbling, this breaking away of what is not true, not working. So we can have this deep transformation to actually line up to the values that we have. As I mentioned, Pluto is going to be really pushing us to transform all through this year, all through next year. Pluto will be dipping into Aquarius, coming back into the last degrees of Capricorn, and then 2024 doing the same, and at the end of 2024 staying in Aquarius. So long-term theme, really scraping right now to the bottom of the barrel. Everything that's been in the shadows and kept hidden from us, ourselves keeping things hidden from our unconscious around these Capricornian themes, very, very highlighted at this time, okay? And in fact, okay, at this new moon in Aquarius, okay, Pluto is going to be conjunct the sun and the moon, okay, exact on the 18th and 19th, okay, but again, we're feeling this energy, and then we also have Mercury moving direct, so there is this real building up of energy, okay, and then we have Pluto being in the mix. Pluto is going to be bringing in the power with it, so just be very mindful. We do have this new cycle that is beginning around communication, how we think, creativity, self-expressions in our systems and structures, and the old ways that have been done and the new ways that are just beginning. And again, there can be this feeling of frustration, of wanting to move forward, because you can feel the energy, you can feel it building. And yet there's still like these pieces of the puzzle that are missing, and you might not know what those are. And it can be around new ways of communicating, like complexity parts that still need to be worked out and worked through. So really hone in on whatever that can be for you, whatever is being mirrored to you in your life, by circumstances, by people, relationships. This is a time of this reflection to transformation, and like how we are going to be reborn even as we're not there yet. January is not a yang month. This is not a month of doing, despite what Western culture might be pushing us towards. This is a very yin month, very reflective, very within, healing. And this is coming from other astrology systems as well as this evolutionary astrology, okay? So this is a time to really be a visionary. Go within, get in this new balance with yourself, your emotional needs, and then you going out in the world and doing what you need to do, okay? How do you need to rest? What within you needs this restoration? Can we have a more beauty way of being in flow with ourselves and the world? Harmony throughout our lives. to be more in balance, even with natural law. I mean, just think about the winter season, the winter months. Certainly in the global north, like this is a time where it gets cold and the leaves fall off trees. Like Mother Nature is going within and hibernating. She is holding that new seed, gestating that new idea, that new creation. She's not birthing it yet. Not until spring do we start to see those sprouts, those blossomings come through the surface. And yet, just look at our culture and our world. Again, holiday season, when we're supposed to be really still and quiet, like nature. So can you realign to what is natural? Natural law, natural time. And the more that we do that, the more we can better harness and work with these energies instead of going against them. Instead of, paddling your canoe upstream, you're moving with the flow of it. So how can you better do that in your life? That is definitely a question that's being asked of all of us at this time. And I have talked so much about Mars in these astrology videos, as well as all of my intuitive readings. Mars has really been making his presence known, especially when it comes to directions, to desires, where we are going next, what it is that we truly desire. So I'm hoping for you, with him moving direct, that you're starting to know, this is my new path. This is my new directions. And it's a wonderful opportunity as well to look back at October even. Where were you? What direction were you going in? Okay, where were you going? And now where are you going? And look to see how far you've come, how you've changed and grown. Not easy energy, Mars retrograde, okay? Especially when it comes to energy. So kind of look back and almost give yourself some pats on the back for what you did do and you did accomplish. It's again, just really, now as we're moving forward, okay, because Mars is still in Gemini, keep your focus right now on your desires, on your spark for life and your path, because there can still be this scattering of energy. Gemini really likes to go here and to go here and to go here and try out these things, okay? So focus, hone in on what your spark for life is. And let that take the lead. All right, so coming into this new moon, all right? We do have Uranus going direct on the 22nd, which is the day after this new moon, 15 degrees Taurus, okay? We also have Venus is going to be conjunct Saturn in Aquarius, and Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. So I share that to say Uranus is very highlighted at this time, this period, and remember, Pluto is in there too. So very powerful time. There can be sudden, shocking changes, getting the rug ripped out from under you. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions of all kinds, not just the natural kind, but in our lives, personally, politically, just the whole thing is kind of up for this moment, especially again with Pluto there in Capricorn. Which Capricorn is systems and structures. So we can be seeing a lot of that playing out in our countries, in our politics at this time. Uranus and Aquarius is the future. So big visions of the future, we can be having downloads of that right now. So really take this time, no matter what is happening on the world stage, you take the time to hone in on your big vision. And how is this showing up for you in your life? Are you moving in this direction of what is new, unique, and different? Of being a revolutionary, again, wherever it is in your life, however it shows up. Maybe you're bringing in a whole new business that's never been done this particular way before. Or maybe, you're like me and you're like, I'm going to bring, astrology to parenting. That's never really been done before, and let's see where this goes. So what is that for you? Are you being and following these revolutionary, experimental, different ideas, okay, that are, again, being downloaded to you from the future, like an antenna, like you've got your little antenna turned to the future, and you might be getting these sudden insights. And are you following that? Are you taking note of that? Or are you in more of a resistance kind of space for whatever reason? It can really also be coming in from the unconscious. Again, Pluto is right there. There can be a lot of fear and insecurity, instability can be some of that energy playing in. And I mention this as well because it's not just about you, okay? This is also global, all right? So the same questions, these same energies are going to be asked of our leaders, of our countries, of friends and family, okay? Everyone. Are we being revolutionaries? Are we willing to go and experiment, to try new things, to be different? Or are we still stuck somewhere in our lives in the same old way of doing things? There can be a real shakeup for us. Now, Venus, all right. As I said, she's the ruler of the North Node, which is in Taurus. Uranus is also in Taurus, all right? So there's a lot of energy coming here, of course, around Earth, nature, also around love and relationships. What it is that we enjoy, going at our own pace, and has that been allowed in our systems and structures? And can we do that differently? At this new moon, it would be really beneficial for you to give back to the earth in some way. Maybe you perform a ceremony or you give an offering to the earth, to your ancestors. This is really actually going to help you to ground you, especially with this chaotic, unstable energies that can be happening at this time. And again, coming in from other systems are really saying the same thing. When you do this and you're giving back, you're giving these offerings, it's like you are planting a seed to come around and to help you in the future. We also might be getting some real reality checks around relationships, money. This push between Saturn and Venus, okay, to what we love, what we truly love, and to give that a solid foundation. And it's almost like what's not solid, or what's not like actually in line with our values, that can be part of that crumbling and difficulty, that tension coming up to the surface. And of course, all that is really reflective of this new moon in Aquarius. So it's going to be a very powerful moment. Be sure to really set your intentions around being different, to go and experiment, try new things, be this mad scientist, your unique self, okay? This really is a very big new cycle that's beginning. And as I mentioned, Pluto is right there. So we have this life, death, rebirth, this transformation that we're moving into, this new energy. Now, this is a super new moon, which means the moon is actually closer to the earth. So much more powerful, potent. We're going to really feel it. Very emotional, okay, expansion as well. This is taking place at 1 degree of Aquarius. So where does that fall in your chart? What planets that might be effective, what house that is for you. let me know in the comments below and share what you think this Aquarian new moon might be bringing up for you. And if you don't know where that is, again, please reach out and I will offer my Chart Your Stars reading for you. So there can be a lot of rebellious energy in the air at this time, especially when it comes to this desire of those who want to move forward into the future. And then those who are really in those more older ways of doing things, those systems, structures, values, and beliefs, okay, and they don't want to move forward. So there can be this tension, this clash building up. We do have a lot of protests happening right now, very disruptive, okay, revolutionary energies. We're seeing that on the world stage. Expect that this is to continue, especially as we come into this new moon. We can be seeing these energies as well around freedom, sovereignty, this being unique, going and doing it your way. And forces, again, this top-down structure that can be trying to prevent that from happening. To add in as well, okay, we have other energies coming in. We have these Kuiper belt objects, which are really opening so much when it comes to the earth, shamanic ways, traditions, as well as this quantum energy, healing, manifestation from nothing. So it's like, it's not all bleak. It's not all doom and gloom. There are others out there who have their perspectives, but it's like, how are you truly seeing this whole picture? Are you really only seeing it from one limited point of view, or are you taking in the true depth and complexity of what's coming through for us at this time? And that includes these Kuiper belt objects. Now, Manway, who I spoke of in my last video, okay, Manway is still conjunct Jupiter. Manway's archetype, the energy, is this highest source of divine creation. This is world renewal. This is an energy that exists beyond time and space. And so here we are at this turning point of divine intention. Now she's at this 0 degrees of Aries as well, which is a repeat back to September of 2022. So what were you creating back then? What seeds were you just beginning to sow? And you might see like a growth spurt at this time, or a new understanding of how you're being divinely guided around your intentions and what you're creating. We also have Celestia as well. She is also conjunct Jupiter at 6 degrees of Aries, and she's bringing in this photonic liquid light, light codes, light intelligence. So kind of be open-minded. You might be really feeling these energies if you're sensitive. And if you are, let me know in the comments if you are experiencing this, if you are feeling this upgrade to your energy body. And they're all coming in and being very supportive for us, again, for our evolution. What's interesting as well is we do have Black Moon Lilith as opposite at this new moon. So this is areas where our creativity, self-expression, going to the beat of our own drum may have been repressed or oppressed. That we weren't allowed to do that because it was too different. So really look within yourself and see how that can be showing up for you. This distortion, like, oh, look at that person over there. Are they actually wearing that? Oh, honey, you can't pull that off. Okay. Or you think that's art? my kids can do a better job at finger painting. So whatever that is, okay, try and catch yourself, because there's this real opportunity to shift in those patterns of thought that are coming from us, to us from this unconscious place, and bringing it back into alignment. Which is also beautiful because it's really, again, bringing up and setting us up for what we're coming into with Pluto moving into Aquarius. There can also be a lot of fixity at this time. Fixed opinions, fixed beliefs, no ability to negotiate or listen. That can be really challenging. Okay, we can see this being played out on social media especially. So just kind of be mindful that this is a potential with these energies. And know as well that this time, it's not about everyone fitting the same mold, to all be the same cogs of the machine so the machine can turn and work together. We are meant to be in community, yes, and we're still meant to be different and to go to the speed of our own drum, to be unique, to be leaders. So that is this direction we are moving into. And just as a general theme for 2023, be very mindful where you are putting your focus and your energy, of who you are listening to. And, that includes these astrology videos, okay, and what's coming down the pipeline. And I say this because there are other astrologers and energy workers out there who are going to come and say, this is how it is. This is how it's going to happen. There's going to be this civil war. This is going to fall apart. This is the last election. I mean, I've heard all of it. And wow, I was watching that and I immediately started going to this place of fear and contraction. And if you find yourself, okay, I'm actually going to say that it's not a good reading. Whether it's astrology, whether it's about energy or an intuitive reading, that's what I'm going to say, because it's truly about perspective. How are we choosing to see the world and the future? Are we coming at it from this place of fear and being a victim? Or are we coming at it from a place of being sovereign and from a place of love? And so what will you choose? That is a question that's going to be asked of each of us, and from one moment to the next. And can we reset and realign if we do find ourselves kind of getting spiraled down into the drama and into the fear? This isn't to say to bypass what's happening, absolutely not, but not to have our energy getting sucked down into it, okay? As I mentioned, with astrology, it's are you looking at it from this narrow lens, or are you also bringing in these beautiful Kuiper Belt objects saying, no, hey, there's actually this great, beautiful future. Yeah, you might have to go through some to get there because there's so much in our world right now. But it's like, no, look at this future. Look at this golden age, this Aquarian energy that many different systems and traditions, indigenous tribes and societies are speaking to. And that's really something. It really is about perspective and where we choose to put our focus. Yes, there's this change that's coming. There's this breaking down. Pluto is making that very, very clear and will continue to do so. And at the same time, we're calling in so much more. We really are moving into this future. I'm mentioning the quantum energies a lot because this is a new field of study that I'm learning more and more about being a quantum healer myself. And here I have in astrology these energies coming in as well. It's not a surprise that as we're moving into this Aquarian age, here we have these Aquarian ideas, these quantum ideas coming to the surface of our understanding. And these asteroids, these dwarf planets that we are learning more about, they're holding this new frequency, this vibration of the sacred, this higher divine intelligence throughout our earth and universe. And like we are returning to this frequency as a humanity. You know, and it's this also returning to this dynamic and ancient understanding that our indigenous tribes are still, even if barely, like holding on to. You know, when I was at Glacier National Park in Montana, I had this beautiful opportunity to listen to a member of the Kootenai tribe share some of their stories and their creation myths, and they know the song of every being around them, the rocks, the type of trees, the wind. They know that song. So it's like we're returning to that kind of consciousness. So when you start to add this to the astrology map, okay, we get to see a very different view of this landscape and of what this future can be. And I'm a really firm believer in how powerful that we are. Our consciousness, our ability to co-create this reality. This future is being written. It is not yet written, and we have immense powers. So if there's something you hear on the news, and I don't actually recommend watching too much news or just enough to get a sense of what's happening, because you have a choice with your energy. Are you going to give into those fears or not? You know, like you might be hearing, oh my gosh, World War III is going to happen. And like when I hear that, I'm immediately going whoomph back into my center, and I'm like, no, you do not have my consent. No, we're not going to World War III. I am not allowing this. And that is the frequency that I am holding. And I even feel like I'm holding that from my lineage, my ancestors who did fight, you know, in World War I, World War II, as I know from, you know, like my grandparents. You know, like, no, I'm not repeating that cycle. I'm not allowing it. And that's this vibration that I am choosing to hold, and you have that opportunity too as well. Now, as I'm wrapping up this video, I really again want to circle back to Manway. We are at this turning point of divine intention. So what are you going to choose? What are you creating in this new world? What is your intention? How can you raise your frequency through song, dance, laughter, music, art, and set your creation, set your intentions from that space, from that feeling of love, connection, centeredness, and not one of fear, okay? So this January, really spend your time visioning. Don't rush forward. This is the time where we're prototyping these new ideas, these visions, these creations, where we are setting our new dreams, our new experiments. So, what are you going to choose? And what are those dreams, those new experiments, those projects? What is that going to be for you? I know that was long. I really wanted to bring in some of the general energies for 2023 to kind of set you up and help guide you and your, you know, even expectations. What might be coming, or what might not be coming, and where we have our power in that. And Again, if you need support on this, do please reach out. Check out my website, chrissywhistler.com, and we can get you set up with Chart Your Stars reading or consulting calls, whatever it is that you need. And please like this video. Again, subscribe to this channel. That helps me out so much. And I'm sending and offering you so many blessings for this month and what you are creating. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you for being here and holding your energy and your frequency in this way and in this space. Thank you so much.